Hi there, students. Dynamic. Okay, dynamic is both an adjective and a noun. As an adjective, dynamic talks about constant change, progress, activity. So, do you prefer to sit in a dynamic class where you're always doing different things and the teacher is changing the subject and changing the activity constantly? Or do you prefer to just sit and do exercises? I'm sure you prefer a dynamic class. You could describe a person as dynamic. This is a person full of energy. A person who has different ideas, who's always doing something. As a noun, we can use dynamic to mean the force that pushes change or progress. So, in class, if I make the students sit in different places, it changes the dynamic or the dynamics of the class, the forces that make the class progress. So the dynamic or the dynamics talks about a sociological, a social or a political force. So I think Brexit has changed the dynamics of British politics. So dynamic, it talks about changing, energetic. The situation at the moment is very dynamic, and I can't tell you what is going to be happening in 2 hours' time. In physics, dynamic friction is different from static friction. Friction, two things rubbing over each other. The amount you need to pull for something that's stationary, static, is more than the amount you need to pull when it is already moving. Okay, so dynamic and static friction. Static here is the opposite of dynamic. The country needs a dynamic leader, a person full of get up and go, a person who is always trying to make things progress, to advance the country. This market is very dynamic. So there are lots of sales and purchases in the market. It's not a static market where only a very little bit happens. Okay? So dynamic. You could also have a noun, dynamism. So the dynamism of our leader is quite incredible. He's very dynamic. Okay, this word dynamic comes to English through French and originally from Greek. So in Greek the original word is dynamikos, which means powerful. So a powerful thing is something that pushes or changes a situation. Now what about formality? Dynamic. This is a neutral word. You could use it in an informal chat. You could use it in a very formal document. So nice and flexible there. So dynamic, constant change, constant activity or progress. A dynamic person, somebody who's full of energy and always doing different things. And then the dynamic of a situation, the forces that shape or push that situation. So dynamic, changing, energetic, moving, not constant. Okay, so there you go. I hope that's been a nice dynamic video. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Dynamic.